Hey y'all, I'm Drew Moreland. This is another great episode of ETX Rocks featuring Jade Marie.
From the unknown to the stars, from the couch to the car, from the unheralded and the unheard, to the legends and beyond, it's where we all belong. Yes, this is where it all starts. From every genre, from every plane, this is where the music's played. So tune right in, won't you bring a friend? This is where it all begins. Welcome to the show, let the music flow, of every style and creed. And you can bet your socks that ETX rocks, ETX rocks.
Hey guys, Boston Chris here with the ETX Rocks Show, and thank you for tuning in to the 249th episode of our show. Now, from early childhood, Jade Marie Patek was fascinated with music, a major reason being the influence of her grandfather, Joe Patek, whose polka band sold over 1 million albums. This Texas Regional Radio Music Award nominee for 2017 Female Vocalist of the Year has developed a style of music that's part Americana, part soul, but all her own. Her most recent single, Drive, earned a nomination for Texas Music Picker's Song of the Year. Guys, from Round Rock, Texas, we introduce everybody out there for the first time, Miss Jade Marie Patek. Alright guys, Boston Chris here, and as promised, all the way from the Round Rock, Texas area, / San Antonio, she splits her time between the two, is Jade Marie Patek. And man, you know, you came upon my radar with the single Drive probably late last year.
Yes.
In the fall, I think, was that released around that time?
Like early fall.
Yeah.
September.
And I heard that song, and it just took me back to the 90s, you know, back when the Judds were big, and Winona and the female country stars back then were just on top of the world. And I hear this voice that is so unique to Texas, and I was like, man, this is great. I've got to have her on the show. And I think it was within a month or two that I reached out to you finally. And guys, this song, Drive, which you're going to hear in a second live and unplugged on the show, it peaked at number 28.
It did.
On the Texas Regional Radio Report. And for a long time there, you were the number one female on the chart, too.
I was for a while. That was unreal.
Yeah. And
this,
I've got to tell you guys, this is a debut single. This is not something she's been doing for 5-10 years. This is the first project that she releases to radio, and it just blew up. So what are you thinking as a debut artist with this, you know, just this immediate success already?
It really blew my mind. I didn't expect it at all. Like I said, never been in radio before, so going into it, I'm like, you know, this is just a cool opportunity, like just to get it heard. You know, I don't care if one station picks it up, like that's great. So, you know, to me, just getting the exposure in general was a huge deal.
Yeah.
And so I was totally happy with that. But then seeing how quickly it rose and like how many people actually like told me they really liked my song and songwriting, and you know and they wanted to support it, and you know the ads that I got and just getting to meet everyone. I mean, it's still one of those where I'm like, gotta pinch myself.
Yeah, you have to pinch yourself.
I can't believe it.
Well, you know, and I don't want anybody out there to get the wrong idea. She busted her ass for this song. I mean, I saw the radio tours and the concert touring and just meeting people, shaking hands, all of that. I mean, you legitimately put in some hours to get this song where it went.
I did. I've seen parts of Texas I've never seen before.
Including this part, by the way.
Exactly. Today's my first time to be in this area. And, you know, even on top of, like, I also have a full-time job, so luckily they are really lenient with giving me the time, you know, that I need to go ahead and do all those things, and I can work from home, so that helps out. But yeah, I mean, it's been nonstop. I have not had a life, but this is my life. This is my passion, so I'm happy to do it. This is a dream come true. I never thought in a million years I'd get to be on radio, so I'm taking 110% full advantage of everything I can get out of it.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And as you guys know out there, if you've tuned into us, before, we love to tell the stories behind the songs and the music. And so, like I said, the first single that she's had out to radio, she's going to perform live and unplugged here. So this song, even though it's a debut single, is really about the life of a touring artist, you know, and what it's like being on the road. So tell us how you came up with the idea for the song.
So I've been playing gigs for 10 years now, and through all that, like, I met the co-writer, Trace Womack, and we both lived in kind of the same area for a while, and I consider him my mentor. He's helped me a lot with my songwriting and just, you know, getting to play with him at his shows and stuff, just really kind of learning the ropes of it all. And he came over one day to write, and we were both talking about our weekends, like, oh yeah, we had this show, and there was like 2 people at it, but it was still great because, you know, this happened, or, you know, well, we played these other places before, and there were a lot more, and for some reason we always like the smaller, intimate shows, and just kind of going from there. And we're like, it's pretty funny, like, no matter how many people we play to, it's still a lot of fun because we just love doing it. We play for the love of playing music. So he's like, let's kind of go off of that. So we started coming up with the song because we just talked about how far, what places we've gone to, and that drive kind of derived from that. And it not only pertains to music, it could be anything that you're passionate about in life, because it's very, I guess, symbolic with drive.
It's very open-ended.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you kind of, it's left up to interpretation, which that's what I like about the song, and I feel like that's what a lot of people could relate to.
Yeah.
Because some people take it literal. I had one of my aunts come up to me, and she's like, I love that song because it reminds me of all the days when I go and drive to see your uncle. You know, it just like, because I loved him and I just wanted to see him, and like, so it could be about that. It could be about music. It could be about anything you're passionate about. What you'll go through to get to do it each night, each day, or whatever it is.
Right. So guys, we're really excited to show you guys this song. The song is called Drive by Jade Marie Patek, and this is live and unplugged only here on the ETX Rocks Show. Y'all check it out. All right, so we are back, and again, that was the debut single from Jade Marie, and Again, the song peaked at number 28. It's already run its life on the charts, and I know that she's really excited probably about her next single, which she hasn't chosen yet. But she does play another song later in the episode, and she also played one for a sneak peek that we put out on Facebook about a week ago. And she's trying to decide which of those two songs is going to be the next single. So maybe we can help her out with that.
Yes, please give me feedback on
Yeah,
which one.
for sure. So you guys comment down below. The two songs are Fly Bird, which is the second song in this episode. It'll be towards the end. And the other one was Dead Flowers, which we featured on our Facebook. If you just go on our Facebook and type in Jade Marie's name, that should pop up. So listen to the two songs and comment your favorite down below, and we'll definitely relay that to Jade Marie.
Yes, please do.
If you guys are commenting. My pick is Dead Flowers, just because of the swampiness of it.
Yeah, swampy.
It's really, really cool.
Thank
so you guys make sure you're checking that out on Facebook in case you didn't see it yet. Now, you did mention that this song Drive can relate to people, and I definitely wanted to ask your opinion on that because, again, if you take the song literal as a performer traveling the roads, you would think that song may not resonate with listeners quite as well as this song did.
Exactly.
Because, again, I mean, this had thousands of plays on the radio, so people obviously were digging it. Why do you think people can relate to that song as well as they did?
I think because it was left up to interpretation enough to where it could remind them of something else. Just the way I think I say drive even in the song.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of that left up to her, like, oh man, that really reminds me of like how much I went through to do this or whatever I went through to do that. So I think just the laid back easiness of it, which kind of also reminds you of like, you're just driving down the road looking into the future or whatever it is. You're going to the next thing, and that kind of that's like the whole music theory,
kind
I guess,
of
part
on
of
the
it.
next mentality.
Exactly, yeah. And it's
sure.
like, it's a nice, happy, easy listening song, too, that anyone can just kind of, just groove
Right.
to and be like, man, it just, like, makes me happy, and it makes me want to go do what makes me happy,
Right.
so.
And guys, you may not know this if you're a fan of Jade Marie, but she actually comes from music royalty. I think, in researching Jade Marie, it was a lot of fun because I got to research her grandfather as well as part of it. And her grandfather was Joe Patek, who had over 1 million records sold in polka, of all
music.
things. And guys, there's tons of stuff you can listen to from him on YouTube even.
YouTube and Spotify, of all places. I found a lot of it on there, too. So it blows my mind, yeah.
So, I mean, this music is obviously in your blood. So how did you kind of get away from polka into the Americana or whatever, country, whatever you're on the fence when it comes to genre, but it's country, Americana, soul, blues, whatever you want to call it, but it's not polka. So how did your influences take you over that way?
Honestly, I mean, like I said, we grew up on polka music because of my grandpa, and so in the area that I lived in, it's all like German and Czech inhabited, so they still, like, even on their radio stations, they have a polka hour.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not dead. If you think it is, it's not dead. So, we grew up listening to that, but I mean, this day and age, there is a lot more, country music and all other different alternative, those kind of genres. And I think I really would have to chalk it up to my dad's taste in music, because I think he and I have, like, we're the same personalities and we have the same taste in music, and he plays a little bit too. He didn't really pursue it like my grandpa and I did, but I mean, we listened to anything and everything. We had 70s rock was a big one. So, a lot of that music, a lot of like Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, just a huge mixture. And then it went into country. So like George Strait was obviously a big deal. Willie Nelson was a big deal. George Jones, like all those. So it was, I think, because of that mixture in my dad's like taste in music, that kind of just rubbed off on me, because I never picked one genre that I honestly liked. But in starting off on my gigs, of course, to me, like, it's always, the country songs are a lot easier to learn because they're usually three chords in the truth.
Okay, so we're sitting here with Jade Marie again, and one thing I did want to ask you now, your grandfather did kind of invent a genre even from what I was reading. Now, polka music obviously has been around for, centuries, right? But here in Texas, he created what they call Texas polka, and completely different than everywhere else. So the question I have for you is, did you kind of learn that freedom from him to kind of transcend genre yourself?
I think indirectly, yes, because growing up, I could always distinguish what his songs sounded like versus all the other, even all the other Texas polka bands or just any of the other polka bands that were in America at the time. I could always tell which one was his because he had like this
swing,
jazzy swing flair to everything.
Right.
There was always like some like saxophone runs in between. And which made it really cool, and I like bragging about that and telling people, I'm like, that's how you can tell it's Joe Patek because you know none of these other ones do that. And any person I've even talked about polka, they're like, oh yeah, accordion stuff, right? I'm like, no, not mine. He had nothing but brass instruments.
More than that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think indirectly that just kind of taught me to do my own thing and not stick to just like one expected genre, which would obviously be country.
Right. Have you ever thought about it that way before? Just like, man, maybe this is why I just don't feel like I need to be tied down to anything solid.
Yeah, later on in life, I started thinking about that. The more I started writing and playing my own music, the more I came to, because I think I would try so hard to fit something, and it just wasn't right. And then after a while, started figuring it out, and like the more deep thinking I got into it, and the more talking about it, I think it kind of came to light where I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense to where like that's why I don't fit into certain because neither did he.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, lucky for it's so cool for so many Texas artists that, you know, I say this all the time on the show that freedom exists here in Texas for independent artists to do whatever they want to do.
That's why I love it.
You know, whatever is, you know, on your fingertips for that day. It's just a great thing. And so, I mean, how would you define your genre, or do you even try?
I really don't. I try because there's a lot of like slashes in between. Like there's country, Americana, red dirt, Texas groove, like southern rock, like soul, whatever you want it to be. Yeah, I mean,
Dead Flowers is very bluesy, very swampy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then next minute, like I have one of my songs. It's like a waltz feel. So you just never know what I'm gonna come up with.
Yeah.
Whatever I feel like.
A waltz feel.
Yeah.
So how are you in the writing room? Like wherever you are writing. I mean, do you argue with yourself a lot when it comes to genre, or are you just writing whatever comes out?
I used to argue with myself a lot, and I think just the more I've written, the more I'm like, just let it flow, whatever comes to me, because I think a lot of songwriters, even starting out, they're really good at just writing the words, but they can never find melodies. Mm-hmm. And so that was always me. So I'd always try to find someone that would find melodies, but then over time, like, the more I worked with other people, I realized, like, I guess how to pick both of them up at the same time. So now it just kind of starts at the same time. Like, I get the words with the melody in it, and I'm like, voice recording. And so now, over time, songwriting has just gotten 10 times easier. But yeah, like I said, in the beginning, it was always just an argument. Like, oh, I'm trying to make it sound like this, but it's not working. And it's like,
you're trying to make an orange fit in an apple's
exactly.
hole.
When it's like, oh, you know what, this song's meant to sound this way, so I'm just going to roll with it. And I'll think of my blues one the next day.
Do you feel like just maturity helped you with, you know, just that organic nature of music, just letting it flow?
Yeah, absolutely. And then even like just growing up in general, you're experiencing more. You have a lot more real things to write about. Like when I was 16, like what did I have to write about? Yeah. My day in school, like you know, like there's no you
broke
can't.
My pencil.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the more life you live, the better writing comes of it. And the
do you
more
find as a songwriter that you notice life more?
Oh, yeah. If I find something in everything I do, there's always like something. Even some days I'm like, what would I do if I just wrote about this, you know, coffee table? Like, you know,
well, if you write about my coffee table, I want a third.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, well, think of how many, you know, people have sat in front of this. There's probably a big story behind it.
Probably, yeah. There's been a couple hundred.
Yeah, for people way bigger than I am, that's for sure. So yeah, this coffee table has a story.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, that's how my mind works now. The more I've been writing and getting into the original stuff, that's just where my mind goes.
Yeah. So, you know, your evolution as a songwriter, you mentioned that drive was a co-write from someone that mentored you and is a mentor to you. Do you find it easier to write as a co-write rather than personal?
At first it was, just because I felt very immature in the whole process of it. Now I prefer to write alone. But if I do need help, I don't have a problem reaching out and be like, hey, this is what I have so far. You just need a fresh set of like ears
Yeah,
and tell me what
yeah.
you think.
Right.
But I'm a lot more comfortable sitting in a room by myself writing something on my own. I like that a lot better now.
Do you feel like that just comes with confidence and being vulnerable? Because I can imagine at first as a creative person just, sending out those emotions, your personal emotions for people to hear.
Yeah,
Man,
that's
you got to
great.
have an unending level of confidence to be able to do that. So,
Exactly.
I can imagine like pulling in a co-writer kind of helps with that confidence and being vulnerable.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of more of an affirmation thing. Like,
Yeah.
hey, is it okay if I say this, or is it okay that I wrote it this way, or is it too corny? Is it okay? Is it just right? Like, yeah, I think over time, and then you start discovering a better sense of yourself, and then you're kind of like, okay, you can let go of the reins. I got this.
Okay, cool.
So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's almost like training wheels.
yeah, it really
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
but I
neat.
also like every now and then, especially with the good, the better artists out there. Like I've even like written with like Brie Badwell before,
Mm-hmm.
and so hopefully that's the beginning of more of those. Just to see like what kind of minds they have and the way they work is kind of cool too. I think.
And you have been involved with the Texas Grits that
the
Adrian
Grit Girls.
Johnston's puts on.
Yeah, Adrian's
didn't
awesome.
didn't you perform with them at the awards just recently?
Yeah, I did at the.
Texas Regional Music
It's a
Awards.
mouthful. Yes.
Yeah. Texas Regional Radio Music Awards.
Yes, at the music awards, I got to perform one of my own songs, and I got to perform with the girls raised in Texas. So I had Adrian Johnston, Charla Corn, Sarah Hobbs, and Julia Kate.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was a
I
lot
can
of fun.
imagine, man. We were so upset we missed that. Like, it's so hard for us to get out of East Texas. It's just as hard for y'all to come to East Texas as
Yeah.
it is for us to leave it. So.
Oh, I imagine so.
Yeah. And she came a long way today, came from the Round Rock area, which is out there close to Austin. And, man, we always feel so blessed when an artist will take the time to come so far just to spend an hour or two with us and talk about their music. And we never take
Glad
that
to
for
be here.
granted, never take it for granted because
Thank you.
it means a
I'm
lot
glad
to us.
I'm glad y'all want me to be here.
Of course.
It's an honor.
I mean, you're a great artist, a great
Thank you.
songwriter. You mentioned earlier that you've been gigging for almost 10 years. But here it is. I mean, let's say from the beginning, 10 years ago to now, you just have your debut single. Where in there did you finally decide, you know what, I want to be more than just a gigging artist. I want to be a recorded, radio-ready artist. Was there a moment in time where you just switched the light on for that? Or
I think so. I think there were like two different switches, honestly. So in college, I started doing a lot more of like kind of getting myself ready to do the recording. But of course, that all costs money, and I'm a broke college kid, so it took a while.
Right.
Yeah, you got to get I got my job and I started making money, and so I wanted to. In my mind, I'm like, look, I just want to do what my grandpa's doing. Like, I can still listen to him. Like, he's gone now, but I can still listen to his voice whenever I want to. And to me, that's such a huge deal, and I want to be able to do that, like, with my family. And, my kids one day, hopefully they'll get to do the same thing and just pass it along. Because to me, that was so special coming from my grandpa that I want to do the same thing. I want to be able to pass that down as well. So kind of around that time is when I got serious about just wanting to record. And I was just happy with that. I'm like, as long as I get to make my own music and I get to record it, and have something physical to be able to listen to and pass down, that's great. And then I think the second one with the whole like, okay, I think I want to do the radio thing, share it with the world, probably came closer, which I think I always wanted to, but it never was a reality to me. But what made it a reality was, like, my dad had a heart attack 2 Novembers ago, and was a huge surprise to us because he's like one of the most fit people you'll ever meet, but like he's also the rock of our family, so it really shook like all our whole being. And like I said, we same personalities, him and I, so he had a whole new outlook on life when he got past it and got better, where he was always that guy like never wonder what if,
Yeah.
So he calls me up last summer, and I was just sitting in my apartment one random night, and he calls me and he's like, Jade, we need to do this. Let's put Drive on the radio. I don't care what it takes. Like, we'll help you financially if we need to. Because I'm really, like, I have a lot of pride in that. I always want to make sure I pay him back.
Of course.
And so I was like, well, if I do this, like, I'm going to pay you back. He's like, I don't care. That's fine. I just want you to know that, I don't want you to live your life wondering what if. Because I kind of did that in my early life, like with baseball. And he's like, so I don't want you to ever do that. So we're going to help you. We're going to do it. And I'm like, we're both crying on the phone, like, okay, let's do it. So a couple months later, like, I did all my homework. I went and sought out promoters and reached out. And found my promoter, Debbie Green, and we made that dream a reality, and it paid off, you know, in ways we could never imagine. Like I said, my dad and I were just happy with hearing, you know, one person play. We don't care, internet stations or terrestrial, it doesn't matter.
It's got to be a crazy feeling just going from, you know, a concert performer to, man, I'm on the radio now.
Yeah, it's surreal.
And then you had to have that gratification and vindication, too, when you're watching your single just climb the charts, and some of the names that it's up there with. I mean,
I know.
You know, people like Wade Bowen and Cody Johnson and Aaron Watson. I mean, and there's Jade Marie Patek on there, too. Yeah. I mean, what's that like as a young
Crazy.
artist?
I have like 10,000 screenshots of that just so I can prove to somebody one day, like, look, my song was right under Wade Bowen's, like right when Acuna came out. I was like, look, they're right next to each other. So I have like tons of screenshots.
And totally not photoshopped either. It was all legit.
Exactly. Just so I can prove it one day.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really cool getting to see that. And you know, I'm hoping also as well that that's being seen, you know, across the whole platform, like that females can hang in there just as hard.
Oh, people notice. Absolutely notice.
Yeah.
And, you know, as you guys know out there, here on this show, we are a huge champion for females in the state of Texas. And it's great to have Jade Marie here. We've had dang near every female artist in Texas on the show. And
love it.
If we haven't had you yet, email us at etxrocks@gmail.com. We definitely want to talk to you. Because we want equality in music in the state of Texas. And I think I'm going to call everybody out. I don't care. I think the good old boy attitude needs to hit the road. And I think we need to give females the opportunity not only to play on the radio, but also to headline shows here in the state of Texas.
Yes.
Because the female artists in this state are bringing it straight up.
They
and
are.
It's not just Jade Marie. It's
Full
people
force.
like Sarah Hobbs and Adrian Johnston, Holly Tucker, Bree Bagwell, Kenzie Kopp, and I can go on and on. Caitlin Butts. I mean, there's so many great females. And, I mean, you led the charge over the fall and winter for that brigade.
Surprisingly, it's still dreaming. I don't know. But
I mean, it's a great song, but how much pressure are you feeling now for the second one? There's got to be some there now, right?
Yeah, I do feel it. Even promoter Debbie, she's like, you know, you got to work twice as hard now on the second one. And I mean, and I understand that, and I'm fully ready to do it because now that I've like dipped my toes in the whole in the radio world, and I just I see the potential of where I could be, of where radio's going, just in general. So I mean, yeah, I'm feeling it, but I've always been one to thrive under pressure.
Good.
That's me. I'm very clutch, and I like the.
Well, you have the genes
pressure,
too.
so.
You have to keep that in mind. You know, your genes have been in music for over a century now. So,
for a long time. So.
Yeah. So I think you're ready for it if anybody is.
I think so. 10 years into the whole gig playing, I mean, I've definitely.
And now college is in the rearview
dues.
mirror now too, and you're working full time and doing the music, I imagine, on the weekends and just
during the week too.
trying to make a living. Right?
That's right.
All right.
Trying to balance it.
All right, guys, once again, you're tuned in to episode number 249 of the ETX Rocks Show. Man, we've done a lot of shows. We're sitting here with Jade Marie Patek. And, guys, we're going to be right back with more from Jade Marie right after this message. Y'all don't go anywhere.
Hey, y'all, it's Jake Worthington. I want to thank you for tuning in to the ETX Rocks Show.
All right, so we are back once again. This is episode 249 and the first appearance of Jade Marie Patek here on the show. I got the name right. Ha, 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 ha.
Nailed it.
Finally. Sorry about that. And so as you know, if you watch the show repeatedly, we thank you if you do that. We like to play a game on the show, especially for these artists that have to come a long way. We like to have a little bit of fun and make sure their time is funny while they're here. And you guys might notice that a laptop has just miraculously appeared in front of me from the last segment. Wasn't there. This laptop is very magical, as I just showed you in a prior episode. But we're going to play Rapid Fire with Jade Marie. And the way this works is, all right, so here's the way Rapid Fire works. I'm going to ask you 10 questions. Some of them are in like a would you rather scenario. Some of them may not be. But you have 90 seconds to answer these questions. And if you don't, you will have Sinead O'Connor's haircut after 90 seconds.
Okay.
For those of you out there that don't know, Sinead was completely bald.
Yeah.
And I think Jade Marie probably likes her hair a little bit.
I do like my hair. I don't want to get rid of it.
This is a very, very... This is why we have insurance on the show, folks. In case people don't pass rapid fire, we're covered.
Yeah, I didn't sign anything. Dang it.
So are you ready for rapid fire?
I guess I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
All right, guys. So this is rapid fire with Jade Marie Patek. Would you rather Jimi Hendrix or Stevie Ray Vaughan?
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Would you rather be invisible or have the ability to fly?
Invisible.
All right. Would you rather pass gas every time you hit a note of music or stutter when you sing?
Pass gas.
I'd hate to be her band.
Right?
Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
The duck-sized horses.
I agree with you. I think that would be
That was a
easier.
tongue twister. I'm glad I said it right.
Yeah, and that's why I always ask that question, because I'm bad with tongue twisters. All right, would you rather be born with an elephant trunk or a giraffe neck?
Giraffe neck.
That would be awesome watching you fight off all those horse-sized ducks.
Right,
with a
I
giraffe
know.
neck.
Wow.
I'm just saying. I took out 9 more. All right, name a superpower that you'd like to have that would be completely useless in a dangerous situation.
Turning the color purple.
Turning the color purple girl.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, would you rather be blind or paralyzed?
Paralyzed.
Okay. Number 7. Would you rather eat 10 pounds of cheese in one sitting or 1 gallon of peanut butter without water?
Cheese.
10 pounds of cheese.
I love cheese.
She's going to be tired. Them duck-sized horses are going to rule the world. Turning purple's not going to help her at all. All right, would you rather master every instrument or sing pitch perfect every time?
Sing pitch perfect every time.
That was an easy one. Why did I ask that one, guys? Number 9, a baseball cap or a cowboy hat?
Baseball cap.
All right, number 10, would you rather know it all or have it all?
Know it all.
Why do you say that?
I think because, possessions don't make you happy. I think knowing, and depending on what you know.
Yeah.
But if you know what makes you happy and
But
you're
if
living
you
it,
know
doing
it all, man, that's a lot.
It is a lot.
Think about all the stuff you would know. Like, you'd know who killed Kennedy.
Yeah.
That was rapid fire with Jade. Now I can't say Jade. I've been struggling with Patek, and now I can't say Jade.
It's the rapid fire. It'll get
Yeah,
you tongue
I'm telling you.
twisters.
She still has all her hair.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I think we came in at like 82 seconds. I saw a couple of those.
Oh, so I didn't lose. That's good.
No, I did see you shed a couple of hairs, but
Oh,
I
God.
think
They
you-
probably turned gray. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
or
That was
purple.
so stressful. And I said the wrong thing a few times, too. That's all right.
Yeah. She answered wrong. I think we should shave her head for that, like admitting that.
No, you can have like a little piece. That's it, though.
All right, so we're going to make the laptop disappear now. Ow. So we're going to make the laptop disappear now. What the heck? All right, so we are here with Jade Marie Patek. This is episode 249. We are one episode away from our huge number 250. I can't believe we've done this many shows. And if you're tuned in for the first time, number 250, which comes out in a couple of days, is going to be with legendary Nashville songwriter Leslie Satcher. I don't know if you know Leslie, but she wrote Troubadour for George Strait, and
Awesome.
When God-Fearing Women Get the Blues for Martina McBride, and just a bunch of number one hits. And she's going to be right here on the set in a couple of days. We're really looking forward to talking with Leslie, and I hope you guys will enjoy that show as well. Number 250, huge stuff. Can't believe we get to do what we get to do.
No kidding.
But we have Jade Marie here in the house riding the success of her hot debut single called Drive. Came in at number 28. And she's going to play another song for y'all here. This is going to be live and unplugged. And so tell us a little bit about this song and where you came up with the idea for it.
So this next one, Flybird.
Yep.
I actually wrote it about 3 years ago. And it was something that I wanted to write because, coming from like your dark places and then you're coming into the light, it was one of those moments for me because I was actually engaged before and it kind of fell apart a few months into it. And of course I was, shaken, destroyed, all that good stuff. But I found a way to move on, and it's kind of a story about that, really. Or I guess it's just kind of, not really the story of it, but just, how you can come out of a dark place and break the chain, see the light, whatever it is, however you want to look at it. But, just Flybird just kind of symbolizes that.
Yeah.
Flying, you know, get
And
your
I'm
wings
going
and
to
fly.
pay you the most ultimate compliment I can possibly pay a songwriter. This song, I heard it for the first time here today on the set, and it reminds me of a Lori McKenna song.
Oh,
So,
compliment, yes.
Yeah, that's about as big as you can get.
I hope she's
Lori's-
watching right now.
You just never know.
Never know.
We do have
Oh my gosh,
mutual
that's awesome.
friends, believe it or not. So
That's awesome.
you just never know.
Thank you.
We've actually had at least 2 Lori McKenna original songs played live on the show.
That's awesome.
So
She's amazing.
yeah, but yeah, man, this
thank
song
you.
reminds me of a song that Lori wrote called "The Bird and the Rifle."
Yes.
It's kind of the same little concept, fly bird, and
Mm-hmm.
I like how you put a situation that's meant to be negative, but you make it uplifting in the song, and I think
Yeah.
people will really enjoy that about the song.
Thank you. Yeah, a little bit empowering, just knowing
Right.
that, you know, that you're going to go through a lot of terrible times, but there's always, the good times are always.
Right. And remember, guys, if
Indeed.
this is the one you think Jade Marie should release as her next single, definitely comment that down below. But this is a huge treat. I hope you guys enjoy it. Live and unplugged here on the ETX Rock Show. This is Flybird by Jade Marie Patek.
Storm rolls in, dancing in the rain. My feet keep moving, I'm rejoicing in the pain. Pain is a reminder I'm getting where I need to be. Was a padlock on my heart, and it was his love set me free. Come a long way from where I've been. The rest of me has moved on, and my heart is starting to mend. Counting my blessings like you ain't never heard. Acting up, moving on, flybird. Was a time when I lost my self-reflection I couldn't see. The time of my revival brought me to my knees. What once was lost has now been found. It's time to spread these wings and get my feet off the ground. Come a long way from where I've been. The rest of me has moved on, my heart can start to mend. Counting my blessings like you ain't never heard. Packing up, moving on, flybird. I've come a long way from where I've been. The rest of me has moved on, my heart can start to mend. Counting my blessings like you ain't never heard. Packing up, moving on, flybird. I've come a long way from where I've been. The rest of me has moved on, my heart can start to mend. Counting my blessings like you ain't never heard. Packing up, moving on, flybird. Packing up, moving on, flybird. Yeah.
So we are back with Jade Marie again. That was Flybird, and she can't decide which one of her songs she wants to be the next single. Either that one or Dead Flowers, which we put out as a sneak peek on our Facebook. So once again, comment down below which one you'd like for her to release.
Yes, please.
I think that would definitely help her out. Man, it's been a huge treat having you here today on the
Thanks
show
so much
for the
for
first
having me.
time. And I know you came a long way, and I really appreciate that.
Hey, like I said, I love driving because that gets me to all these fun places.
Yeah.
So I have no problem doing that. I really appreciate you having me.
And so if people are hearing about you for the first time, where can they follow along on social media and stuff like that?
So you can find me on Facebook at Jade Marie Music. Instagram's Jade Marie Patek. Same thing for Twitter. And then all of my other information is on my website at jademariemusic.com.
Very simple, and Jade Marie Music will link you everywhere you need to go as well. It has all her social media. It has her tour dates there, contact information, and I believe there's links to the single on there as well.
Yes, there is, and on Spotify and iTunes.
Right.
So.
And where would you send people? Would you prefer them to go to iTunes, or would you rather they stream it on Spotify? I know different artists.
I think at this point, I would say stream it on Spotify because I hear in about a year they're gonna stop downloads.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'd say why not Spotify? Because that way, there's more outreach and I can contact you guys. So please, follow me on Spotify.
Cool. So Spotify, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's JadeMarieMusic.com.
Yes.
Right? And it's Jade Marie Patek on Twitter and Instagram, Jade Marie Music on Facebook, and it's Jade Marie Patek on Spotify as well.
Yes.
And hit the follow button on Spotify. That helps these artists out a lot.
It does. Thank you
can get her single everywhere. They sell digital music, iTunes, Google Play, all of those places. Just a great song. Obviously, it resonated hugely in the state of Texas. And I think regardless of what you choose next, I think either one of those songs will do really well as well.
Thank you.
Because I know you're a hard worker. And,
Yes.
and Debbie is right. You will have to work hard.
Yes.
It's unfortunate, but, that's what gets people heard, I guess. That's the best way to put it.
Put in all the work, though, and you'll see success, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah. You have to hustle to be heard.
That's right.
All right, so once again, you guys are tuned into episode number 249 of the show. Unbelievable. Almost 2 years. It's been a year and 9 months of the show, and we've already done 249.
Killing it.
Thank you. First time having Jade Marie Patek here. It won't be the last, I hope. I'm sure she'll come back if we talk her into it.
Absolutely.
And so every single, you're welcome back. Whenever you have your album out, we'll have you back.
I'll have an EP hopefully before summer. So
cool.
Fingers crossed.
Very cool. So hopefully we'll have some mailbox music soon.
Exactly. I do owe you some mailbox music, so that's coming.
Well, you don't owe it to me, but it's better to owe me than cheat me out of it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Again, you can follow along with everything she's got going on. It's Jade Marie Patek, Patek, on Twitter and Instagram. It's Jade Marie Music on Facebook, and JadeMarieMusic.com. You can get everything Jade Marie related on there. It's a very cool website. If you're watching us for the first time, you can follow along with everything we have going on. We're located on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at ETX Rocks. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. That's the best way you can help us out. And just by hitting that subscribe button, it changes the algorithms for us and makes our videos more recommended for people. And that means more exposure for folks like Jade Marie and all the other wonderful people we've had the opportunity to talk to. And as a subscriber, you guys get instant notification of every single episode and all of our videos that we put out to your email box. So that means sometimes up to 12 hours before we promote it on social media, you guys will already have it in your email. So that's why you want to hit subscribe. Make sure you hit the button once, because if you hit it twice, we will charge you money. And it just depends on what kind of mood I'm in that day on how much I'm going to charge you, to be honest. If I'm having a bad sports day, you'll probably get hit really hard. I
got lucky. It was a good sports day. So.
Yes, she did. Well, it was a halfway decent sports day. Celtics lost, Red Sox won.
There you go.
So she got in under the. It wasn't like the Super Bowl this year. By God, I hated those folks. Hated that day for those folks. That was a rough day.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, don't hit the button twice. And we tell them that because if they do, they unsubscribe, and that's no bueno.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah, don't unsubscribe.
Don't double click. Who double clicks anymore?
Yeah, right? Nobody double clicks anymore. No. That's so 1999.
Yeah, big time.
And as you guys know, we are all self-funded on this show. That means everything you see here either comes from our pocket or from generous donations from folks just like you out there. And we have set up a donate link for you guys to help if you'd like to. You can contribute to the show directly at www.paypal.me/ETX Rocks. And every dime you send us goes right back into the production of the show, whether it's upgrading equipment or putting gas in our gas tank to do an on-location interview, which we're trying to do more of lately. We have another on-location interview coming up in Lindale with Blaine Howard next month, I think, or this month. And all of that comes from you guys, and we definitely appreciate donations. And again, we will take American dollars, Egyptian pounds, drachma, lira, pesos, and Polish zloty.
Not yen?
Nah.
He doesn't like
Yen,
it.
yen, it's like 1,000,000 yen for every $10.
Oh, then no, don't do that.
Yeah, and it doesn't fit in like a sun-kissed machine.
Oh.
If you can find a sun-kissed machine, it won't take yen. I don't even know if they have sun-kissed machines.
I don't know either.
But if they did, they wouldn't take yen, so we don't take it either.
Yeah.
I really like sun-kissed. You know?
Well, then don't give that to him, guys.
Yeah, no yen. It only spends in Japan. And I don't live in Japan. I'd be like a monster in Japan. I'm 6'4", man.
We all would be.
Yeah.
Towering over.
People would be like, sumo! So, again, we will take all of that. We will not take Robert De Niro either, because that only spends in Sicily.
Oh my god.
Al Pesci.
Robert De Niro.
Al Pesci. Joe Pesci. Al Pacino. One of the two. We will take one of those two. We'll let you decide. But you can, yeah, definitely thank you for everything that you've contributed. And I want to thank Casey Pickney and Joe Savage's dad. They were the last two to donate to us. Definitely appreciate that from you guys. And of course, Casey is with Rockhouse Productions. He's a huge supporter of the show. And just wanted to throw him some love out there. Now, as we always say on the show, we want to thank you guys out there for always supporting live music of all genres and all styles. And don't ever forget,
ETX Rocks.
That's right. And you remembered.
Howdy, folks. This is Aaron Watson.
This is Bree Bagwell.
This is Jake.
And this is Walter from Rocky Queen.
This is Curtis Grimes.
Monty Pittman.
This is Doug Supernon.
I'm Heather Little.
This is Rob Redwine.
Ho! Hey folks, I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Hey guys, I'm Katie Lynn, and make sure to tune in to ETX Rocks with
Boston Chris.
Hello, y'all. This is Ronnie Millsap, and thanks for tuning in to the ETX Rocks Show.
Tough guy. Ho!
Hey guys, we're Blacktop Mojo, and thank you for tuning in to ETX Rocks.